Another episode of why you should call an experienced personal injury attorney following an automobile accident. Hi, I'm Paul Hernandez, attorney at Kalfus Nachman, litigating cases across Virginia and North Carolina. Some people think they do not need to consult with a personal injury attorney following an automobile accident. Many believe they can Google how to handle a personal injury case and they will be fine. The problem is Google can't predict all the twists and turns in a motor vehicle negligence accident case. Every case is different, even for passengers in the same car that was involved in the same wreck. Listen to this story where the injured person almost threw away tens of thousands of dollars. A young man was on his way home one Friday night from working at a local restaurant. He was a closer and was on his way home about 11:30 that evening. He was lawfully stopped at a red light, waiting for it to turn green. All of a sudden, his car was crashed into from behind. He did not know he was going to be hit. He was knocked unconscious and finally came to as the emergency personnel were putting him in the back of the ambulance. He never saw the car or the person that caused this terrible crash. After returning home from the emergency room, he started handling his own case on his own after searching Google for how to settle your automobile accident case. The medical injuries required that he seek over 6 months of medical treatment and therapy. He was able to obtain a copy of the accident report and find out the name of the defendant and the defendant's insurance company. What he did not know about the accident report is that there was an accident report key that explains what all the codes on the report meant, which means he did not have the fact that the defendant was drunk. The report showed that the defendant was charged with violating a specific statute. The young man did not know to look up that code section. If he did, he would have learned that the defendant was charged with driving under the influence of alcohol. After the young man recovered from his injuries, he started to negotiate with the defendant's insurance company, again with what he learned from Google. He was about to settle his case for what he thought was a fair sum. Fortunately, his girlfriend suggested that he call our firm for a free consultation. He later told me that he had no idea what the fair value of his case was and he did not know what he was doing. After coming to our firm, we were quickly able to determine that the defendant was charged with driving under the influence and that he was convicted of the same charge. That fact made the young man's case very valuable. It was very valuable because in Virginia, if you are the victim of a crash where the defendant was convicted of driving under the influence with a blood alcohol content of 0.15 or more, you are able to recover for not only just compensatory damages, but you're able to recover exemplary damages, commonly called punitive damages. This rule is in effect because drunk driving is an activity that the Commonwealth of Virginia wants to deter. So the state allows punitive damages for 2 purposes. 1, to punish the defendant for this outrageous conduct, and 2, to deter others from the same type of behavior. After getting involved in the case, we were able to settle this man's case for over 4 times the offer he received from the insurance company initially. The insurance company did not share with this young man that their insured was charged and convicted of drunk driving because they knew that the value of the case was much more than the amount they were initially offering. Needless to say, the insurance company was not very happy that we were hired to represent this individual. After we settled the case, the young man realized that he made a huge mistake trying to rely on Google to try to settle his case. He almost threw away tens of thousands of dollars. This young man now refers all his friends and family, whenever they need legal services, to Kalfus Nachman. If you've been in an automobile accident with a suspected drunk driver, or you think about handling your own personal injury case, call me, Paul Hernandez, at 888-487-8546. It will cost you nothing to see if you're making the right decision. And by the way, if you enjoyed this video, click the subscribe button below. That way you'll be notified every time we post a new informative video. I'm Paul Hernandez, litigation attorney in Virginia and North Carolina, and thanks for watching.